Hey guys, what's up? This is JRP77 from JG Games. Welcome back to a brand new tutorial, and today we're going to be talking about randomness in Unity. Now I know I talked about this in like early 2016, but I rewatched the video recently and I realized that it really actually wasn't that comprehensive. And so we're going to fix that today, and we're going to completely redo this tutorial because some stuff has changed and there's some new stuff that I've learned that I think you guys will enjoy. But before we get started, I'd just like to say a huge thanks to the overwhelming support that I've gotten on the 10-minute game video. That video has done better than all of my videos in the past 3 years, and I just really want to thank you guys. I know I kind of jumped in on a trend, but you guys also were just really nice about it. And even though I failed my challenge, you guys still supported it, and you were like, nice try, dude. And that really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. But enough talking, let's just go ahead and hop on the PC and let's talk about randomness in Unity. All right, so I just got this really basic scene set up right now. It's just a sphere in the middle of a scene. I've just changed the background color. And what we're gonna do first is we're just going to look at generating a basic random number. So first we're just going to create a C# script so that we can actually do this randomness. So I'm going to right click in the project, go to create, C# script, and I'm just going to call this randomness. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click to open this in Visual Studio. And now we've got this, what we're going to do is we are just going to make a very simple function that generates a random number for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all these functions. Now one of the simplest ways to generate a random number is by using the random.range static method. Basically what it allows you to do is input a minimum number and input a maximum number, and then it will give you a number in between those. So I'm going to create a public float, and I'm going to call this min val. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a second public float called max val. Then we're just going to go down a couple of lines and create void start. This is just going to run on the very first frame. And we're going to create a new float called new f. And we're going to set this equal to random.range. And now all we have to do is input our values. So I'm going to click min val, then I'm going to do comma, I'm going to hit max val. So this is just going to generate us a brand new random number. And in order for us to actually see this number, we have to print it to the console or use some other method. But I think I'm just going to print it to the console. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down a line, I'm going to say debug.log. And inside of here, we're just going to write new f.toString. And we're going to do double parentheses and then semicolon. And now we're done. So we're going to save this script and we're going to hop back into Unity and we're going to apply this to an empty game object in our scene just for simplicity's sake. So I'm going to go up to game object, create an empty object, and I'm going to right click and click rename, and I'm just going to call it randomness object. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to click on this object and we're going to drag the randomness script over here. You'll notice we have two spots to put in a minimum value and a maximum value. So I'm going to set, for now, I'm just going to set 0 for the minimum, and I'm going to set the maximum value to 5. Now when we run this, I'm going to open up my console right here. When I run this, what's going to happen is it's going to give us a random number between 0 and 5. And you can see that number right here in the console. So why would we use this? Why would we need to use this? Well, what if we use this sphere that we have in our scene to generate a random x and y coordinate based off of a series of numbers? So let's do that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of everything in our script, and I'm going to create a couple of different references. I'm going to create a reference to our sphere by doing public transform sphere, and that's really it. Now we can just go down to our void start. Again, same function because I don't want to have to call this in another function. And here we're just going to change the position. So we're going to say sphere dot position is equal to a new vector 3. This is going to give us new position coordinates for us to move our object. So the way the vectors 3's work is you give it an x and then a y and then a z value. So what we're going to do is we are just going to give it 3 different random range. So just for substitution, I'm just going to put this at 0f, 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 and we're just going to leave z at 0 because I like where that is right now. And we're just going to be messing with the x and the y values. And we're just going to write random.range. And inside of here, I'm not going to use variables, so I'm just going to write in some numbers. I'm going to say -5, comma 5. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this section right here and we're just going to paste it right here. Alright, so now we can save this. We need to add a semicolon, and now we save it again, and now we hop back into Unity and we should have an option to select a sphere. So I'm just going to drag the sphere in right here, And now as soon as we start the game, you'll notice that the object moves to a random corner of the screen, or maybe not even a corner. So if we hit play again, and then we hit it once again to start the project again, you'll notice that's completely off camera because the camera field is too wide. But you can see that it's actually just down here, just outside of the camera. Now moving this object to a specific part of the screen is kind of cool, but what if we wanted to change the color of it to a random color? I mean, you'd have to go in and do this for every single one. Well, luckily the random class is a static function that can actually do this for us. So I'm just going to leave this randomness script we've made as it is, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to create a new C# script, and I'm just going to call it random color. So what we're going to do is we're just going to delete everything in this script, and what we're going to do is we're going to say that every time the player hits a key, the color changes. This just gives us a really easy method to test this. So I'm going to create the void update, and inside of here we're going to check for an input. So I'm going to say if input.getKeyDown. Now we need to input a key that we're going to use, so I'm just going to use keycode.f. Now this can be any key. We can change this to key A, I can change it to key B. We can even change it to mouse 0 or something like that if you wanted to do a mouse click, but there are actually functions for specific mouse buttons, so I would highly recommend not using this. But for now, we're just going to use F because F is a very simple key. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to generate a random color. So what we're going to do is we're going to type random.color HSV. Now what this is going to do is this is going to generate us a random color. So let's just go ahead and open this up, and you'll notice that we have a ton of different options. And up on the screen right now is the syntax for this function. First of all, we have hue min and hue max. Now what this is this is the actual color. So this is going to be messing around with the value. This is between 0 and 1. And this is just all of the colors in the rainbow. This is the actual color that's going to be generated. Then we have saturation min and saturation max. Now what this is this is how bright and vibrant the color is. Next up is value min and max. Now this is going to be the brightness of our color. So this is going to be making it more white or more black, depending on if the number is closer to 0 or 1. Now we're not going to be messing with alpha right now because we're not dealing with a transparent shader. So we're just going to be dealing with hue, saturation, and value. It's the acronym HSV. So what we're going to do is inside of here, we are just going to start messing around with different numbers. This can get a bit unorganized, so make sure you know that the hue comes first, the saturation comes next, and the value comes third. First of all, for hue minimum, because we want this to be any color, what we're going to do is we're going to set the hue min and max to 0 and 1, so this can hit all of the different colors of the spectrum. So I'm going to hit 0F, comma, 1F. Now we have saturation. Now I don't really want this to be that much of a difference in the saturation, so we're just going to do like 0.7 and 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit comma, I'm going to hit 0.7F, comma, 1F. And now we need to do our value minimum and maximum. Now because I don't really want it to be that dark, we're just going to make this like 0.75 and 1 because I really want it to be bright. So we're going to hit comma, 0.75F, and then comma, 1F. Just like that, and a semicolon. And I'm just going to add a space right there just so that this looks nice and clean. And there we have it. This has generated a random color, but now what are we going to do with this? How are we actually going to put this on our actual object? Because right now this color is just sitting in the script and it really hasn't been used yet. So what we need to do is we need to actually reference the material so that we can change the color value. So an easy way to do this is just to say get component, and we're going to do open brackets, and we're going to say renderer, close brackets, parentheses, dot material, dot color is equal to random.color HSV, blah, 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 blah. So now we've got this. I'm just going to save this script, and we're going to hop back into Unity. And this time I'm just going to click on the sphere, and I'm going to drag the random color script over here. Now what should happen is that it generates this every single time we hit the key F. And because we don't want the object moving all the way around the scene, I'm just going to disable this randomness object. So I'm just going to click on it and click on this checkbox right up here by the name, so that this will no longer move our object randomly around the scene. So I'm just going to hit play. And now whenever we hit the key F, our color changes. Now it's green, now it's pink, blue, purple, and the more we hit it, you'll see that there's more colors that come into play. Yeah, that's really it. That's a really easy way to generate colors using randomness. So there you have it. It's really that simple to work with random numbers in Unity. Not only can we just generate a random number, but we can also use this in other functions to do other things like spawn an object in a random location or even change the color of the object randomly. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this video sucked, then you know what to do, but if it didn't, drop a like and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Don't forget to check out our website, social media, and merch, as well as our community Discord server. All those links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.